Annette Kennedy was elected 28th president of the International Council of Nurses in June 2017 after serving 4 years as vice president. Previously, she held the position of president of the European Federation of Nurses and was active in lobbying the European Parliament, Commission, and Council. A registered nurse and midwife with a BA in nursing studies and an MSc in public sector analysis, Annette was the director of professional development for the Irish Nurses and Midwives Organization for 19 years and established the INMO's very successful Education Research and Resource Center. Annette was unable to join us tonight, but has sent us her remarks in video.
Hello, I'm Annette Kennedy, President of the International Council of Nurses. Thank you to the RNAO for inviting me to address you at your AGM. Dr. Braithwaite, Dr. Ringenspan, and the board, I bring you greetings from the 27 million nurses around the world that ICN represents. It has been a difficult 2 years, particularly 2020, when we faced the pandemic. Nurses all over the world showed great courage and compassion and competence and care. So did our national nurses associations, and of course, the RNAO. To support their nurses, they lobbied for their nurses, they sought PPEs, testing, and now, of course, ICN, along with all our associations, are seeking equity of vaccination for the most vulnerable and the healthcare workers who are dealing with the pandemic on a daily basis. As you know, the State of the World's Nursing Report was launched in April. That was followed by the Strategic Direction for Nurses and Midwives, which was adopted by the World Health Assembly in June. But adoption is one thing. It will be up to all of us to call governments to account, to implement those recommendations in investing, in education, in policy, politics, and involving nurses in leadership, and of course, advanced practice and specialist education. The World Health Organization also stated that 115,000 healthcare workers had died during the pandemic. That equates to 200 nurses per day for each day of this pandemic. That can never, ever happen again. If a plane crashed every day, the whole world would be up to investigate it. We need to seek answers too. ICN has been receiving information from all our nurses associations all over the world, and of course from the Canadian Nurses Association, who tell us the challenges that are facing Canada and your nurses and the nurses in Ontario. And like nurses throughout the world, you're facing a shortage. That shortage, according to ICN, could be up to 50% of our current workforce in the next decade. 15 million nurses, 13 to 15 million nurses, depending how many actually leave early in their profession. Not just the people that will retire, not just the nurses that will retire from, particularly from Europe and North America, but many younger nurses have intention to leave. That is an extremely worrying. So we need to hold on to the nurses. We need to find every opportunity to retain them. I thank the RNAO for all the work you're doing, and for the nurses in Ontario and in Canada. And I encourage you to continue to support the nurses all over the world and to lobby governments. I know you will. On the 2nd to the 4th of November, we have our Congress. It will be virtual, and we'll be showcasing nurses all around the world, included with entertainment, with music, and with culture, and many very prominent speakers do look at our website and do join us and bring your students and young nurses. I wish you a successful AGM and thank you for all the work you do.